want to show you what Meghan Markle said when she was at the most powerful women event where she was interviewed. She was asked the question about, okay, go back to when you first left royal life. Can you go back and just tell me like what was going on? And Meghan essentially gave this answer. I want to hit on this briefly, so let's just listen to that real quick.
What you could do for women. Well, I think 5 years ago was a very different situation for all of us. And, Archie was so little, and I had just gotten pregnant with Lily around that same time, so we were nesting.
So as you can see, Meghan is talking about, she got pregnant with Lily right when they got back to the States and they were living their lives. She was, healing, from all the things within the royal family. And that is just such an insult to the royal family. It is such an insult to everything that was done for you. And I won't go into that diatribe right now, but it just never ceases to amaze me how Meghan just complains about her royal life when that is the best thing that has ever happened to her. And that's why she does all these things around showing up in public, and people show up to take her photo because she was in the royal family. But she continues to make these snide little remarks about her life in the royal family. I mean, that she should be so grateful for what happened to her. I want to just bring out the contradiction really quickly because it goes into the story around this couple and their married life. When Meghan talked about how she had just gotten pregnant with Lily around the time that they were healing and looking for community and, back in America, trying to figure it all out. And that is so not true. It's so not true that she got pregnant around that time. We know that COVID really went full throttle in March of 2020. This was the same month that Harry and Meghan left Canada to go to California because they were going to be closing up the borders, and they just left with the quickness to go back to California. And Archie was under a year old around this time because he was born in May of 2019. He was not quite a year old. And Meghan's saying that she had just gotten pregnant. And the suspicion around Meghan saying this, to me, brings into a lot of questions, things that I think we can go a lot deeper on. But I want to just point out to you so you can really understand how she doesn't even know or is not even able to get it right when she got pregnant. Because Lily was not born until June of 2021. She would have gotten pregnant later in the year of 2020, around September. Okay? There's no way when they left in March of 2020 that she was pregnant. She did not get pregnant until 6 months later. So when you're thinking about getting pregnant and having a little child, don't you know when you get pregnant? Because usually if the child is conceived around September, which it would have had to have been around September of 2020, you probably would have found out sometime in October, November that you were even pregnant. But here she's saying that she was pregnant.
What you could do for women. Well, I think 5 years ago was a very different situation for all of us. And, Archie was so little, and I had just gotten pregnant with Lily around that same time, so we were nesting.
Pregnant around the time of going back to the States, or going to the States and living their life in California around March of 2020, when you didn't really know that you were pregnant until like half a year later. Why would you say that? Why would you say that you had just gotten pregnant with Lily around that time when clearly you weren't? To me, it says the timeline is off. And usually when you are a pregnant woman, these are very pivotal times in your life because you're thinking, I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. and what's happening in that time in your life is very memorable because you have on your mind of being pregnant. But how could Meghan have said that she was pregnant around this time when she wasn't? That to me stood out very clearly.
So you tell me to tell you something that maybe a dozen people actually know that's going to come out very soon. Okay. Meghan Markle, the reason why you watch her interviews and she just seems off, she's owned by a pharmaceutical company. The 2 children that she had, they're not hers. She didn't have them with Harry.